Hello, welcome to this episode of West Key Customs, channel dedicated to customisation and restoration of our die-cast favourites. In this episode I take on my first Hot Wheels project. This is the Hot Wheels 1940s Ford Coupe. Always liked this particular car. I think that the die-cast model itself is quite well proportioned, the details are good. So it seemed a prime candidate to have a bit of a makeover, bring it back up to a bit more into the current time. Because looking at the sort of paint scheme and the graphics on this one, it's very much sort of based in the sort of late 90s, 2000s. So that was the die cast. Here it is in a bit more closer detail. As you can see, it's in quite good condition. Bit of play wear on it, as you'd imagine. Obviously, some child has obviously played with this quite a bit. There's a few chips here and there, and a bit of sort of wear to the chrome parts. But we can sort all of that out. Need to obviously get the paint off of this one and have a look, see what's going on underneath the paint, see if there's any sort of die cast sort of flashing marks, that need to be cleaned off. First thing we need to do is to drill out the posts. On this one there's just the one post to drill out, which is at the back of the car. The actual front of the base hooks in to the front of the car via the grille. Need to be a bit careful on this because the base on this Hot Wheels is plastic. So the last thing you want to do is to drill the hole too big and make it difficult then to put a new retaining screw on at the end. So just take your time, get a nice sharp drill bit and just slowly drill down on the rivet head. On this particular one, the rivet head is one of the sort of concaved rivet heads, so makes it nice and easy to centre the drill and drill a nice hole just enough to get the head of the rivet off. Once you think you've got it down far enough, then just gently put a screwdriver in between the base plate and the body to see if you can prise it off. If it's not coming off, then don't try it too hard because you can break the base plate. So in this case I just needed to give it a little go again with the drill, just to remove a bit more of the rivet head, just to give it enough clearance for me to be able to remove the base plate. I think on this attempt, there we go, it pops off. As you can see, back's held on with the rivet and the front is held on with the front grille, just kind of hooks in through the hole on the actual body itself. Very simple base plate, as I say, it's in plastic with a chrome finish. You can see the grille's attached to it on the front. Wheels appear all okay on this, but I'm going to change the wheels anyway to some better ones. Inside the die cast itself, got an interior, quite well detailed, the interior. I might give this a coat of paint, might leave it black. I'll see what it looks like when I've decided what colour I'm going to spray the main body, but looks quite nice, bit of fluff in there from being play worn. All that's left to take out now is the glass. Not a fan of the purple glass, I must admit, so I think I'm going to try and change this for some clear glass. Need to drill out the back of the rivet just to make it ready to put the screw in. So next thing we really need to do now is to put the body into some paint stripper, give it a nice good coat of paint stripper, and watch the paint come off. I need to put a bit more paint stripper in my tub because it's getting a bit old and a bit sort of used now. So give it a nice good coat. I have heard rumours that some of the Hot Wheels can be a bit of a pain to get the paint removed by paint stripper. So I'll give this one a go, put a nice thick coat on it, leave it for a while, and see how we get on with it. But hopefully it will come off all okay. If it doesn't, then we'll give it a couple more goes. Right, this is it after a couple of hours in the stripper. As you can see, a lot of the paint came off, but a lot is still remaining. So it was right, the Hot Wheels paint can be a bit of a mare to take off. And I must admit, the paint stripper that I've got is not the most powerful of paint strippers. It's a bit of a basic one that I got from the local hardware shop. So what I need to do now is I'll go over it again with the paint stripper and also the wire wheel and clean a lot of it off. Here we go, here's the die cast. I've just done a quick kind of mock up to see how it looks with the wheels that I'm going to be using. Haven't really done any sort of alterations to the base plate. The wheels fit on there nice as it is. Body, I've given it a good go over with the wire brush. It has highlighted a few sort of flashings, a few die cast, a few of the casting lines that ideally I'm going to give a bit of a file and clean off, because last thing you want is to put a nice new paint job on it and see these kind of moulding lines showing through the paint. So best way I find to do this is to just simply take a needle file and just gently go over the casting lines until they're removed. Take your time with this because the actual die cast itself, the actual material they make the die cast out of is not particularly that strong, so the files do make light work of these casting lines. So just gently take off the casting line so it's flat with the rest of the surrounding bodywork, and then what I tend to do after that is I then tend to sort of use some different grades of sort of sandpaper just to file it down a little bit more, sand it down a little bit more, and make it look nice so it doesn't show through the paint that you apply on it. So here I am just going over one of the casting lines on the rear fender. I think on this one there are some casting lines on each of the fenders and across the bonnet. Also across the nose of the bonnet there was quite a few. So it's interesting because you can't really see these when it's got the original paint on it, but it's not until you remove the paint that you see these casting lines and you think, how did I not see them in the first place? But I suppose the paint that the Hot Wheels use is quite thick, and it covers a multiple of sins. So obviously I'm going to be using automotive paint on this, as at the moment I'm still using spray cans as I haven't managed to purchase a air compressor and start using the sort of Createx air paints that you can see a lot of people use. So just continuing to clean up these casting lines, get them nice and level, and then we can go over with the sandpaper and give them a good clean up. Take your time on this because the better prep that you do on the body, the better the overall sort of paintwork will come out. So here we go. After I've gone through all of the casting lines, just giving it a coat in some primer and then a coat in the base coat metallic blue that I'm going to be painting this car. Came out quite nice. So just gone with a straight metallic blue on this one. No fancy sort of graphics or anything like that because I think it looks quite clean like this. I've just gone over and painted in some of the details, chrome headlights and white lenses, painted in the backlights, also painted in a chrome stripe along the side, as you can see, just to give it a bit more detail. All of these details are there but never really sort of painted originally. So here we go. Here's the finished model ready for construction. There's the body there. I've given it a couple of coats in clear and you can see it's got quite a nice shine to it. Quite happy overall how this came out, and quite happy I spent the time removing the casting lines because you can't see them. What I've done in this case is, instead of using the purple windows, I've just got some clear plastic and stuck them in, so it's got the clear windows. So no longer be using these horrible sort of purple windows, so it doesn't not really suit the die cast, so we'll get rid of those. Just cut off the front bit just to use as the sort of help to retain the wheels in place. Here are the wheels that I'm using, some aftermarket wheels, some sort of 5 spokes, which I think are very period correct for this car and actually look very nice on it, and you do see a lot of these in real life with these wheels fitted. I've paint stripped all of the chrome off of the base and sprayed it black, and then what I've done now is I've just highlighted a few chrome accents, gone over the grille with my chrome Molotov pen, and also just gone over the tips of the exhaust. There's a few more details on the base I could go over and do, but I'm particularly not really that bothered because once it's on the shelf you're not going to see it. Interior, I decided to give the interior a bit of a paint, just gone over it with a bit of a light sort of tan brown paint, just using Tamiya paints mixed to that sort of shade. Just I think it goes a bit better with the blue. Here we go. Here's the finished model out in the sunshine on the old rotisserie. As you can see, it's got a nice shine to it. Nice dark blue metallic paint. The details have come out well, and yeah, overall very pleased with this one. I think the only thing that I'm a bit disappointed with is the amount of time it took me to actually do this, because it was a very straightforward sort of wheel swap and colour change, but due to all the sort of delays over Christmas and bits and pieces, I kind of done a bit, left a bit, left a bit, and I've decided at the end to let's get it all finished and get it done and get it on the shelf. So here we go, just a few stills of it. So very happy with how it came out. The blue metallic paint and the clear coat came out nice and shiny. The interior, you can see the interior a lot better now. It's that kind of cream colour. So yeah, overall very happy. Hope you enjoyed this episode and stay tuned for some more. Hopefully have some more coming up very shortly. If you like what you see, please subscribe and please give it a thumbs up. Thank you very much. All the best. Cheers. Bye.